Good morning and welcome back to another episode on the Coin King channel. I'm your host, Down to Crypto TA. Bitcoin seeing about a two candle bounce right here off of this 4 hour time frame so far. For today, a little, I wouldn't really call it a tweet to bottom, but we do have some bottom and tails down here as well, sitting a little bit closer to that weekly pivot. We haven't actually taken the liquidity from that low just yet. So we're still holding slightly, just ever so by the dollars, by the dollars above that low. A 4 hour looks like it's trying to recover somewhat, a little bit more than what we've seen here in the past, I guess, since this drop right here. Yeah, since this drop right here, I'm seeing some stuff on the indicators that are suggesting that a little bit more momentum is kicking in here for this 4 hour time frame. If we are coming up, possibly it's going to be somewhere right around here where we get our first level of resistance. So I turned off a lot of the other levels that I had on in here that was up here to the upside just to clear some of the noise out of the chart. But we would actually take out this little pivot right here. We would be something like a 1 hour sh- um, breaker structure or something like that on the 1 hour time frame, but not necessarily here on the 4 hour time frame. It wouldn't make too much of a difference here. Uh, there's something else I was going to say about this 4 hour time frame. It looks like we have like a fallen pizza right here too. It's not the cleanest, but right across here we have some sort of a fallen pizza. I would love to be able to connect it more, I would love for the connection points to be a little cleaner. They're not. It is what it is because this high is sitting all the way right here where we got that rejection from this one. Um, so for now, I guess that's what we'll be looking at though. We'll be looking for, I don't want to, you can look for a little rejection right here off of this trend line. I'm leaning towards the fact that Bitcoin is going to get into here, possibly into into the low in here, as opposed to that bottom wick down there. Just coming a little bit more into the lows in here before we see some actual rejection. Then that's going to reset the structure here because this these swings are really shallow right here on this 4 hour time frame. Let's push forward so we can see what we're dealing with. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this line right here. I don't need that anymore. I'm gonna leave the other ones in here for clarity. Yeah, this is nothing more than what I just said off that 4 hour that we haven't actually taken the liquidity from this low right here. We're still just holding up, getting a little bit of a bounce there um, from that zone. Let's see. Again, because I did do a stream on Saturday, and in here, like we are closer to buffer than not. So we're closer to support than we are anything. So it's not that you can't still short through here because you can, but it is closer to some sort of support in here. You can see what we have the golden pocket sitting at. You can see all three of these tops in here. They're gonna act as some support for Bitcoin. And something it's what I was saying about the last time over in here. Like we didn't actually have that. Um, Over in here, we didn't have it when we started to get this drop. Like it caught support right about in here on the bear flag that we got over here. But this is way more support in here. Like, and then again, the golden pocket is sitting in here. Also, psychological level got a measured move for here as well. I also discussed the idea of price action coming into the 786, which I mean, it's a lot of stuff that actually lines up with it. Um, just based on some measurements from different pattern formations, all measuring to that 786, and that's typically about where Bitcoin um, retraces back to in the bear market. But again, for now, I'm not going to make this my primary focus right now. Right now, the first thing we're going to have coming into play is going to be the support levels in here. So um, if this, then that, then that, and that's where we are with Bitcoin here. 50% retracement, not based on me drawing it from the absolute low. I found that it actually that it let me see, let me make sure I didn't draw this one right here from the low. No, I didn't. Yeah. I just found that if I'm pulling the fib on a monthly time frame, it's better to not pull it from the low. Like you can still, find comfort lines and stuff like that if you do, but I just found it better to not pull it from the low. Right, and here we are on our 15-minute time frame. So you can see the few time frames that are starting to find some strength, and that's good. Um, Still a little rising. So a pullback is going to happen. We might, yeah, again, yeah. If I just tell you from this 15-minute time frame, this liquidity in here gets taken from here. I can turn this off for a sec, but this liquidity through here gets taken. This chop, this weekend chop right here. And I will be taking a look at any CME gaps as well. I did not look at that yesterday, but yeah, this definitely gets taken right here, just based on probably like the 1 hour contribution to this little bounce right now. So we have let's see, I think the 1 hour did, yeah. So 1 hour in here, trying to come up. It does need to, and I think it does come back in here, probably gets this little bit right here, which is what I was just saying about that 4 hour time frame. And then possibly we can get into these lows in here, but not shabby. A little extra sell off right here. You can see how we ended up breaking below this regression line right here, ever so slightly, and then reclaiming. I'm sitting on the sideline right now. I did enter into a long on Bitcoin on Saturday. I got stopped out. I tried it again and it just got a little bit too choppy at that point through here. Just became a little bit too choppy. And I'm going to give this chart a little time to whatever move it's going to make, come back, possibly give me a higher low, at least on the 1 hour, possibly give me a higher low there or a double bottom, and then I'll get into it. But I'm sitting on the sidelines with it right now. I am in a long on Ethereum. So Ethereum, as we talked about it, and just take us over here. So you can see how I was talking about the 786, which all of this stuff was covered over a good month or so ago. And I posted it as well. But here, where we have the 786 set for Ethereum, we also have this zone right here. And I just made it into a zone. It's just, just in case, but support, support, resistance, support. And it was so clean each time right through there. I highlighted this too. This is why I turned it into a zone instead of just a line. But resistance, support, resistance. So it's at a great place. So I took my chances right here with it and entered into a long position on it. And if we do lose that right there, if we do lose around the 786, now if we can peek over it a little bit, I don't want to deviate into the center. So at least about a quarter in, maybe. Um, I don't want to do more than that before I get out of it. Um, and I might not have a choice. Shoot, I have a choice. But yeah, I don't want to peek more into a quarter into this zone. um, to get out and then re-examine things and make a determination from there. But past that, then I start to look down here towards the VWAP, which is something that has worked out pretty well for Ethereum in the past. So then I start to pay attention to that. But right now, yeah, definitely a great place right here. So I entered along on Ethereum, just kind of sitting on the sidelines for Bitcoin right now. very close to tapping that outside of the box too. The I'm sorry, the that zone, that rising trend line. Take a look at Solana this morning. Let's see. Get on the right time frame for Sol. So, still in the same area. No biggie here on Sol. This is the level that we were talking about. Potentially that Solana would get down into here. I covered some of the additional levels that are in here for Solana below here, but I'm a little fearful on Solana, no lie. I'm a little fearful on Solana, but it has been doing pretty well right over in here with this point of control and this value area low in here. I don't really know how much that's going to make a difference. I'm really more focused on this little pivot right here as below here is just not something. Well, there's not enough evidence, not enough historical evidence on Solana to really make an argument about it. But this would have been the bear market territory low. This is how I've had it lined out for uh, for a minute. This is how I've had it lined out for it. Um, and we're holding inside of it. We haven't taken this low out either, which is good. I was fearful of us being below 120. I consider that to be a lot of trouble for it because then, of course, that weekly level, that 95, this low down here would come into question. And it just opens the doorway for Solana to go a lot lower. And it's never, I mean, again, not enough evidence really for me to say it's um, how well that's going to work out for it with the bear market territory low that I have highlighted for it. I think I did that here I think I set it up over here on the 4-hour time frame. Let me see if I still have that little box in here anyway. See if we have our box. Okay, well, that wasn't it. Unless it's all the way back to the back right now. That wasn't it. Let me see what the coordinates is on this. And then I know, no, that's another level. Um, mm, Here we go. So this is our box for our bear market territory right here. And you can see how well we have respected it. So below here, I started thinking that Solana's going to go down to about around 40 or so, 30 so dollars personally. That's my thoughts. But you can see, and this box was sitting here because this is where the cloud is on the monthly time frame. And that's why it's highlighted like that. Because it drops into the cloud and it doesn't disrespect the cloud. But below here, outside of this level right here, taking out that low, it's outside the cloud. Now, can it deviate a little bit? It can deviate a little bit and still be just fine. Bitcoin deviated a little bit in 2022, so it can do that. But yeah, this is it right here. This is do or die. It's already pretty much do or die. But this is where we're at right now. But you'll notice how after when I did the video on Saturday, I told you that you could probably get a short, just short it from at the cloud right here. As more than likely, it wasn't gonna be able to break. It did break the low a little bit, but this is what I was saying. You could probably get in the short on right here if price came up and hit this cloud. That was going to be, and I gave you the number. That was going to be where you could take a short from. So that has played out. pretty well. Trying to get above it now. Look like we're gonna, like I said, some strength coming in, especially off that 1 hour time frame. I'm gonna give it a minute to actually prove itself for me personally before I take another stab at it. I'll take another stab at it. Gold, I can tell you, gold looks as if it has topped. I mean, I think that that was the top for gold. Now I'm long on gold. Um, I gave you the two levels that I was looking at on the last video, which was Saturday, and I told you that it was, we probably get down into here, and I was looking at, um, talk about potential for that gap getting filled. I was looking at something else in here, and I don't. Oh, I think I was on the 15. Yeah, it was the 15-minute time frame in here, and I was sharing with you this right here that we were around this VWAP, and I had took along based on this right here, based on price action coming down here towards the VWAP. Well, I got stopped out on that one when price came back down, but I had a limit position set up for this next level down here. At the time, it was like 44.70. And so I actually forgot I had the limit order sitting open. I woke up this morning. I was like, huh, how am I in this position? It's like the second time I've set a limit position and completely forgotten that I had it open. But this thing could have went way south, and I'd have been in some trouble. Um, but that's where I got in at, and it happens to line up with the next level of support for gold anyway. Which, as you can see, this is what we were talking about right here. We have this next momentum line at here. Um, this zone of support levels in here, but yeah, we managed to push through it. Anything's possible over the weekend too, but I do believe that gold has topped, and anything from here is just going to be little corrective bounces along the way before the biggest leg to the downside happens. I'm gonna take this away now because yeah, it's no longer a thing. My little alarm was going off over here. Of course, we know that it's been in some bearish divergence through here, and we were going to continue to do that anyway. It's actually just some squeezes. This bullish divergence first is what it is. Um, and even now, like I said, we'll do some bing bonging around as we drop lower, but you can look at the regression line on the weekly time frame here. Now, I did one on the monthly time frame, but also it did cross the signal line as well, which it had not crossed in forever on that monthly time frame. But price action might come back to here first. Well, RSI might come back to here first, and then some sort of a little bounce happens in here off the weekly time frame. But here on the monthly, right here, so it was a signal line. It's a signal line through here that gold has not passed through in a very, very, very long time. Um, it didn't even pass through it right here either. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. It passed through it right here ever so slightly, briefly, right here where you see it turn white at. But right here, it's underneath it again, and that tells me it topped. So that's the top end. Like I said, we'll see some little bounces along the way, but that was definitely the top. And then yeah. And there's some other things we have to consider not just, some indicator turning white or purple. Some other things we have to consider with this, but I mean, bulls are very much in control right now, so it will just be chop. But I don't think that price action comes back up here to take out this high. And if it does, then I mean that's probably going to be another short opportunity right there. I expect for this RSI to at least come back down here. Um, and then the monthly actually sees a clear bounce. You can see right here, like right here where we did it right here. A couple of things that were in play was, you know, RSI. Um, I think I covered this on something else too. So you can see a really nice respected trend regression right here. Bounce, 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 very respected. Break. Now you can see how it came back up because you can come back up with where it is. So if it comes back up, there's probably just going to be another opportunity to short it. But then at this point here with gold, we end up seeing the 22% correction right here. Not shabby. It's not shabby. It doesn't look like it's a lot when you compare it to this big move that we have. Uh, but this is a little different in a sense too. This is just a little different in a sense. Um, but you have that. You have like a squeeze in here as well, which is what we have in here. A major squeeze in here. A break of the momentum in here on the monthly time frame. Now the MACD hasn't turned down. That'll be another confirming signal to look for. But like I said, bulls have this time frame, and there'll just be a lot of chop. Let's see if we don't see something else in here again. So that was that one there, and then we had the one over here. So requirement is going to be, let's get a one through here. I saw one right there, baby. I saw one right there. Respect. So squeeze, break, and yeah. So corrective, it's about 45% drop right there, though. Yeah, 45% drop on that one. So don't even think about playing the long game right now. Zoom out on those lower time frames when it comes to gold right now, because if you're trying to play the long game right here, you might get your feelings hurt. You might get your feelings hurt. Let's take a look at silver. Now, silver can fall quite a bit through here and still have some decency to it. And the reason why is because of this just look at that. Looks a little different. It didn't catapult until here. Like it was so it was really grinding through here. All these red candles in here. And then it just finally just shot up. So you can be a little patient with this one. I don't like to cut through the other side ever. So yeah, that's my point. It can come down a lot lower, and you'll feel a lot of pain on it before it actually gets bounced. There's nothing through here, at least not on the market time frame. Like there's nothing through here other than me doing, putting a progression line and a trend line through here. But otherwise, there's nothing, so it can roll over and feel painful before the bounce comes forward. All of this support is down here, unless you're doing like on another time frame, lower time frame, you can see it better. But anywhere you have like these little candles like that, then that's your area right there. So anywhere you have these little candles right here, it helps you see where But you might have an actual pivot on your lower time frame. So you can either do it like that, or you can, box it up like that. It didn't work out. Like it'd be resistance in this case right here for it. It's likely going to be some sort of resistance off of this one right here. You just push out a little bit. I'm put on a 12. So you can see what that'll look like for you. You can see what that looks like. But outside of that, the higher time frame really doesn't have anything. Really doesn't. And then you can also do, I didn't do it because I moved it, but you can also do, which is this right here. It's the same with capturing that candle part right there. So it's the same as this high over here. Something to think about. Might as well just put it on the actual, since it's so close to it, right? Just might as well just put it on the actual level right there. But that's what you got for gold. I'm not gold, but silver. For silver. So it can fall. It can fall quite a bit. Um, you'd be thinking it's dead, and it's actually not. Move forward and take these lines off of here, but you understand. So a little bit of resistance for silver coming into play. Let's move down here to copper. Copper performing a lot better, performing a lot better. Cannot complain about the cops here. Let's see. Let me make sure it got on there because we're trying to magnetize to I was trying to get to. Same thing with copper, but copper is performing a lot better, um, per se, than gold and silver right now. In my opinion, it is. Um, I have some levels drawn out for copper, so let me just get on a. Let me see something. I already have this stuff right here in place on copper already. I just want to put this back on gold, and let me go to, this is monthly, weekly, daily here, copper. So copper yesterday did break below this zone right here. I didn't actually put anything in here for copper, not down here at this range. And I don't know why, but I didn't put anything down here. For me, basically, it was if copper didn't hold there, then I was just going to be looking down here for copper to come back to see if it's going to be successful with breaking back above this momentum line. If it is, then that's pretty nice. It's pretty strong for it. But if it doesn't, and I'm not counting this little small deviation above it at all, it's really going to have to show me more than this little peak, more than the tip. I need a little bit more than the tip. It's just a tip that I'm looking for to dip and come back down, come down here towards this trend line right here. But for the most part, yeah, copper's not shabby. It's not shabby. Um, I have not adjusted previous day low, previous day highs, or anything like that. So while I'm here, let me go ahead and do that. All right, so it is above the previous daily. Cool, cool, cool. Why didn't I set anything else in here? It just didn't look like. Nah, I don't like that. I would not have been looking all the way back here. Um, I really don't see. But yeah, yeah, I do. But that's a big block. That is a huge block. I would not be looking at that. Yeah. So I don't really see any actual support through there. Um, Maybe something with moving averages, maybe some sort of support from that or something. Yeah, yeah, I guess. But and it did hold it right here, and it held it right here as well. So maybe that, and I think it was possibly a Bollinger support or something like that. But yeah, for me personally, it would be coming back down into here. See, Bitcoin is bouncing up a little bit more in here. That's good. Wow, it did flip down on this 15 minute. But again, we talk about where I think the price action is about to go on Bitcoin. Then I'm just going to sit on my hands with Biddy and stick to Ethereum for now. But the 4 hours looking pretty decent there. 4 hour looks pretty decent. 4 hour looks pretty decent on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and gold. But when market opens, you know, what's that shakeout gonna look like? I'm not sure, but it's about to conceal the deal here in the next few minutes, like 25 minutes left on the 4 hour candle closure. And we will have a signature from that 4 hour. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Yeah, I mean, I can respect this 200, 400 right here. I can respect 400 right here. Did get back above that 200. That's good on this 4 hour time frame. That is good. That is good. So it could have just been whatever they were able to get done on the weekend. If I'd have done anything, I'd have done this. Yeah, so I can see that. Um, yeah, I can see that. Just go ahead and mark this out just in case when market opens. I'm gonna do it like this. I'm not gonna take into account the little peak that it did bounce up from, which if I had originally been looking at it, I would have included this little inside candle right here. I'm gonna do it just like this. All right. Guess we want to look back over here at Bitcoin for a sec. Um, and then I'm gonna take a look at some of the rest of the market here. In terms of stock market, I haven't really SPYQs, Nvidia. See what some of the larger caps are doing in here. So this is Bitcoin. Love when we see this right here happen. And right now, I like to see this momentum push back to the upside. But as long as it's not come back inside this cloud, I guess I'm okay with that. It's yeah. So far, like I said, 4 hour looks like it has a little bit of strength in here for Bitcoin. A little bit of strength. We've been wrestling with that standard one on that Bollinger on the 4 hour time frame, but everything else is suggesting this little bounce, at least get in here, take out the people in here from the weekend. And while I'm here, to take a look at CME, just kind of see. Take a look at CME. Yeah, yeah, for sure this gets got. And that's all we really need to look at from here up into here. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna get a little bit of a we could expect a little bit more of a bounce here for Bitcoin. It's not about the CME gap per se. It's just the 4 hour time frame looks like it's just, gonna give it's gonna give a crap about us today. Let's see. There's our gamma flip to negative was through there on IBIT. So that's where we went. That's where we crossed into our put wall. And it was definitely putting us down from there. Ay, 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 ay. Which I haven't been over to take a look at that. But yeah, we gapped all the way down here to that gamma flip right there. Gap to the gamma flip and straight down. Let's back over here on Biddy. PNB. Yeah, too. Just be careful though. Just be careful in here. Yeah, just be a little careful in here. If you are long already, uh, okay. That's like I need to be careful a little bit too with this Ethereum. Um, Even though that 786 is quite nice. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. Also, mean, I know markets have been a little painful. I know they've been a little painful, but I'm hoping everyone had a wonderful weekend. Mm-mm-mm. Let's see. This section right across here. This little rise right across here. We started to swoop it a little bit right there, but let me see. I'm gonna do it like that though, just like that. Resistance. This little candle right here. Well, we're gonna get there regardless of this. That's why I'm waiting. I want to get a better entry. If I am gonna get long in here, I just want to get a better entry. Like in the 4 hour. And there my mouse goes with the clickety click click clicks. Um, hide that. Take a look at here. I'll go ahead and run through a couple of other things. Now, let's take a look at our XRP. All right, so XRP did make its way down here. We talked about 162. We did oversweep on this 162 though. Also talked about the fact that this is one of the altcoins that did not come down and fill in the gap. Doesn't mean it has to, just because many of the other ones did. Um, but we did sweep a little bit lower in here than I would have actually planned for, not having anything to go off to my left, not immediately anyway. Take a look at the daily time frame. Let's see here. Daily, okay, yeah, right here. But yeah, we came below it. We came below it though. So I really, mean, yeah, no such thing as being perfect, right? Sometimes. If we're coming back up, um, obviously the place to be looking is going to be somewhere around the lows to here. This is labeled my previous day low. Let me just put this one back on here though, because I have it labeled as such. But the place to be looking is going to be somewhere right in here, around 180. Yeah, around 180. For that resistance from the lows in here for XRP. I don't think the daily is getting to a place where it's going to do that. But if we do start, because we do have this inside right here, inside candle there. We swept the low of this one here, but these are still inside to where I'm talking about right now. Around do that. Let me just highlight this. Take the rest of that off. Or we could just start to consolidate through here. for a while until we actually see some sort of um, strength on this daily time frame here. Only other thing I could think of that we would do would probably be sweeping the liquidity from this low right here in the moment. But if we're about to start finding some strength here on the daily time frame, then we could just range around in here for a while before we actually confirm and get that push to the upside. At that point, I wouldn't focus on this too much, not the lows in here too much, unless it's just a grab of liquidity above this high right here. We won't really know until it happens, but for now, this is probably going to be a trading range right here between that 150 and that 175. Looking for some sort of a breakout here, especially with the coiling. That's nice little tweeze about them right there also. Got a little double bottom here somewhere. Eventually, we're going to come back and get that liquidity. So eventually, we will come back and we'll sweep that here on XRP. But for now, I mean, this looks pretty decent right here. At least for this little range in here, if you're a trader, this little range in here looks pretty decent. Let's take a look at data. Basically, the same thing we just discussed over on XRP. Like it is ranging in here. So um, can continue to bing bong around in here for a minute, and then find some strength to get a push up um, based on yeah based on this 4 hour right now. We're already a little bit bearish on this push to the upside. So whatever break happens, it could just be sweep of the liquidity off of the top side right here, and then continue to range around in here for a little bit longer. But I like that still. You know, trying to figure out what these. An even bigger range right here on take into account this right here. Double down on that. So a little bit more of a volatile range here for Cardano. But remember Cardano taking a lot of heat, a lot of oof. Like Cardano finally did come down here and take out that low. What else did we talk about here with Cardano? Um, yeah, we highlighted the sell side liquidity, which we haven't taken out. Uh, yeah, we did. We took out that one. We took out that one. We're still fine right in there, but the potential for Cardano to get down here to around 17, uh, it's there. It's there. It might not happen until it gets push up, though. Whatever push up is going to get. Um, might even treat this as resistance going forward. This is one that even at its lows, I really don't want to play with too much. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I need to get rid of that. Yeah, not something I would want to play around with too much, but you see, you're probably going to get some sort of rejection in here, but take this liquidity right here, get another little move down. Possibly can get all the way up into here though. That's not bad for ADA. For ADA, under the circumstances, liquid holding up okay. After all the puppy price action that it got, um, might be a wave four right here. And then you got one more push to the upside here on hyperliquid before we go into an ABC correction, something like that on this one. I'd rather just use this. So the retracement. Yeah, yeah, wave four right here. It came back down into the 50. Um, yeah, working on wave five right now. So not bad. Not bad at all for anybody that's doing their thing here with hyperliquid. Yeah, not bad. Go hype holders. Get rid of this line right here. It's already been handled. Get rid of this. Oh, I don't get rid of this one because this was our low zone right here that we were looking for it to hold right here. Boom, 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 boom. That was our zone right here for poor boy, boy, boy. Just trying to get back into that golden pocket. Get back into the golden pocket. All right. Let's see what else we got in here. Suey. 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 Let me just go to this weekly time frame so I can work this out. Make this a little bit cleaner in here on the SUI levels. So nothing new here with Sui, nothing to update on in here with Sui. Holding support right now, so that's good. On a continuation though, we do still need to keep in mind that 23 down there. Just on a continuation of Bitcoin is what I'm referring to. We would need to still pay attention to that. Aside from that, yeah, I think that we're okay. Um, for now, this was going to be my last buy area right here at the 98 for SUI, just based on where, price action being into its bear market territory. But again, it's another one, just like Solana, doesn't really have a lot of data to look back at. So past here, I wouldn't want to be a part of it. Past here, past 98, I just think that it more likely, but I mean, I can consider the 67 down here, but that's just a little bit too much for me um, to want to still mess around with it. So past that, I just cut my losses, cut my losses. So I'll still have some capital to use. Whatever I have left will go somewhere where it's useful. Chainlink, when I bear market lows in here on Chainlink, which I did share that with you. This didn't get me too far. I see it right there. It didn't get me too far. I shared that I tried this, tried a long in here on it. It started out okay, then it ended badly. Badly. Not for me because I was already stopped out. Fair value gap. Blasted straight through that golden pocket 786 from that little area. I'm trying to play the 15-minute time frame is what I was doing in here with that. Let me cut these. Actually need those. Let me make sure I don't. They've basically been resistance, like break and come back and treated these things like resistance. Good lord. I think that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, the daily stuff in here. We'll go ahead and get rid of that. Yeah, you can take that away. Look for the real stuff. This is the real stuff right here. I started buying Chainlink when Chainlink got in here. This is why I started buying Chainlink because this is supposed to be Chainlink's bear market lows in here. So I started buying Chainlink right in here. And my last buy order for Chainlink is set right here for the 837. And past that, I don't want Chainlink. Past that, no Chainlink for me. Because we're supposed to be respecting our bear market lows. So it can turn ugly real quick if we're doing more than that for me. So we'll see. Let me slide this over so we can see our numbers a little bit better. Although I do think Chainlink is a good project. This should be it. Like this should be it. I love for it to remain above this $9.10, but this should definitely be it right here. for Chainlink. All right, let me look back over here at Bitcoin. It's still diverging, okay? So just keep that in mind. It can, diverge. It can start out with the bear divs and then not be a bear div anymore. But you can see how we broke below this trend line right through here and how we're starting to squeeze up a little bit more. I mean, it can continue to push, especially when I was saying like the cloud drop, that tends to create some kind of a bullish divergence. So that means that some sort of a squeeze is happening down through here just to get in here and get to these highs right here. But I expect for price action to correct back down and then look for an opportunity to play the 4-hour time frame. It comes back, it should come back and respect about 77.69. Not necessarily from this chart, can we say that? But um, put this on a 4-hour here. Um, had my wrong thing. Had my drawings for a second. So right here. Like we come up, we can start to look back towards the 77, um, 100, whatever that is going to be right there. We could start to look back at that. Let's just say it's like this. And I think I might have to put it. No, it's going to be too low. So I guess we ram straight up through this. And I expect for these highs to get taken. But in terms of resistance, yeah, somewhere about right in here is what I was saying, right? Yeah, somewhere right about in here. Turn my magnet up so I can bring that over here. Yeah, so we're taking this out. We're coming into these lows, get a little bit of a rejection. I would expect for this to hold, coming back down. And this was actually my, okay, this is my 4-hour chart. Let me sync this. Um, Syncing layout and visibility, current interval and below. So I can be more aware of it from here. It happens sooner than that. Then we shall be aware. All right. Um, Got a few more sellers trying to step in right now, which is always good. And this is good only if we get there first. Because if we don't get there first, then we're not going to be paying attention to this retracement right here. We got some liquidity highlighted down here. Yeah, we have liquidity highlighted down here below this low anyway. Seven and four. 774. Yeah. I'm gonna just mask this for now, at least until we need it, so there's no confusion here. State Street Spider. I actually had not looked back at the SPY in a little while here. Hmm. Yeah, Bitcoin is trying its best to grind up there. Trying its best. I just moved from the 15-minute chart so I can see, uh, a little bit more details um, in terms of that correction. Mm. Spot's looking pretty decent this morning. That's just this morning. You can see right here, Spy's defending this zone right here with all these little bottoming tails down here. It is defending it, possibly using, previous gap as support to here too. Um, it's definitely defending. Time frames look pretty decent through here too, with the exception of the daily. I think the daily it's a little bit too choppy to really tell, but yeah, somebody's buying up the drops in here for sure. Those little dips. Can't really see anything there. The Q's in here had a gap down first. Um, why that looks like that, I have no idea. Hmm. It's weird though. Put it up there. I don't really know if that matters too much now. I think I looked at something like this at one point. I thought we had broke through it. Come on, man. It's not that hard to do. I could smell we had broke through it. That's fall. What we're doing here. I'm gonna delete that now. Same thing over here with the Q's. kind of holding right around this old gap, that low. What I'm gonna do is push this back up here into that point. Possible rejection zone right here for the keyed in. There's a like on SPY. Those are going to be the same. Just do a little run through right here. And from here, I need to zoom out. And it's 24. So we came back to this gap. I didn't even realize all this happened. The last time we were looking for the little bounce off up here. Got it. We still haven't actually filled in this gap in here. Still holding above standard 1, which is good. See, Bitcoin is still looking decent there, so nothing to really get into over there. Still holding. Still holding. This is not my typical chart for NVIDIA. I think it's my fourth one. It's this one, 2, 3, 4. I think it's this one. NVIDIA's still looking good. So far, I mean, 24. Yeah, I mean, still outside of this breakout right here. We had highlighted that we needed to get a closure above here, which we did not get. We took liquidity over it, but no closure above it just yet, but still holding down through here. So no, it's a lot of indecision right here on NVIDIA at the moment. For now, bears have it until market opens, and we'll see what happens there. AMD, I'm bearish on AMD. But I mean, AMD held that level like a boss 1, 2, 3 times. I'm still bearish on it. We had like the little head and shoulders in here. We didn't quite manage to play that out. It came up, did a little back test, and rejected, and still bounced. Well, look at that before. How many times AMD actually bounced off of this? 37. That's where it first comes up above it and pushes up. Creates that test, pushes up, bounces, and then from there, starts to fail, bounces. That little 37 did his job. That RSI, that little 37. This won't hold again, guarantee you. Um, AMD comes back down here. This time it's going to break this line right here. This is our channel. I think it's our channel. Is this our channel or broadening? Yeah, broadening formation here we have on AMD, which means there will be a measured move. We haven't quite made it back to the top side of it just yet, but when we do, I guess we'll see how successful it is at coming back down here. Uh, this is usually bearish. In this case, I mean, I don't know. I don't like I just think AMD is going to end up being bearish. So that's the mindset I have on it right now. Go biddy, go biddy, go biddy. We're trying to get there. Let's take out the weekend liquidity or the weekend bears. But yeah, that's how I feel about AMD. Let's see. I think they're going to be a big flop right now. I'm thinking it's going to be a flop right now. I think Intel, and I was bearish on Intel for a little second there, but I think Intel is about to do really much better, and AMD is going to. I don't know about this. I don't know about AMD right now. I would take a bet that it's going to fall hard. Still got to work though. We're looking at it. Let's see. What are we looking at? Oh, it's a long time. That's a long time. That's from 2000, from the dot-com bubble. Just getting back to the dot-com bubble high. It's a long time. I'm not a big fan of this pattern formation right here, but it is what it is. Nice, beautiful rounded bottom, V shape over here on the right hand side. They call that I don't know, Adam and Eve or something like that. Mm, Eve and Adam, I don't know. I don't know which one is which, to tell you the truth. But Intel, mm, not shabby, not shabby. Definitely not feeling the best on it. Hmm. Momentum did rise on it. Let me change. Mm, it's gruesome drawing lines everywhere, but that's what it is sometimes. I'm bullish on Intel at this point. Qualcomm, really? I don't like Qualcomm anymore. I was working for them. And they do have a nice little new chip that just came out. It's the XX Elite. Really nice. It gives Apple a run for its money. Like this time, it really gives Apple a run for its money. Apple's really good with like the single cores. Um, but the tops on this XX Elite really really good. And Intel's new Panther Lake, man, it's AMD that just really didn't shine. So I'm bearish on AMD for that reason because yeah, mm-mm. They were a big flop at the convention, big flop. And Apple owns the most of ARM. Um, Anybody that don't know, that's what Apple uses. That's the big, tech behind Apple. That's the big tech behind Qualcomm too. With their Snapdragon, is ARM. Um, they were going through a little lawsuit. Qualcomm was going through a little lawsuit with ARM for a sec there, but they prevailed. They won that. So it's not a bad idea to pick up some ARM on a nice little dip. ARM is going to be the future. It's just going to be the future. PCs are going to move away from this X80. What is it? Is it X86, X84, X86? One of the two. Move away from that. X86, I believe. Only reason why Intel, I don't know. Well, maybe they don't. We'll see. But it's really not a bad company to invest in. It is going to end up being the future. I'm almost certain of it. It's going to end up being the future. Go ahead and move that up here now. Um, See if I want to buy me some and where I would want to buy some at. Guess there'll be no place like coming all the way back down into this, right? And so we're getting that little bit, just a little bit of a reaction there on Bitcoin. That gave me nothing. Let's stand around to right down here on yeah. I'll buy some back here. Just a little bit more of a dip. I'll buy some just under $100. Yeah, just under $100. I definitely buy some. Let me just do that from there. Yeah, under a hundo, you can get my money. Let's see how crappy it looks down to here. I'll give it a minute, but yeah, I think I would be interested in it right in here. If the chart reads anything different, then yeah, it should have come much lower. But um, it's a good company. Apple held one. I think that was from how old is that? This needs to be updated. No weekly levels. Yeah, they held one. Uh, oh, we did that perfect. You know, we had not looked back at this particular time frame with this data in here. I remember when we did this too, because we were inside of this little wedge in here, and we was talking about Apple was going to get the break to the upside, while a lot of people were still a bit bearish on it. And then we had this inside candle right here. I think that came from the monthly. Yeah, it came from the monthly time frame. And then Apple, the measured move for it sent Apple up to here, which it tapped it perfectly. Tapped it, tapped it, tapped it, tapped it, and rejected. And we got the channel in here too on Apple that we were looking at through here. And then I even spaced it out just in case some bad crap happened in here. But we do. I mean, Apple right now is not looking too fabulous. You know, the man, the myth, the legend. He Buffett. I don't think he's running anything anymore, but they sold some more. But I'm still loving it. I'm still loving it. But we are rejecting right here off of that two. I can see we did reject off of that two on that push back up. Um, so, whew, I guess if we're going to come back down, last time we took the liquidity over this trend line right here. This trend line might not be valid anymore. There's no more liquidity on it. It was just that little bit right there. And usually about 1, 2, after you get the 1, 2 touches, the third one tends to hold, but it got a little shaky in here. Got a little shaky right in there. Maybe we can come back down and hold that support here. Uh, I'd rather it get the breakout. Now it gets back above here. It's back in euphoria. And, a little self and Buffett ain't going to make a bit of a difference. And we can potentially break out of here and then start looking up here towards this area right here, wherever it's going to be at in here. That would be great. That would be really, really great. Um, Probably help me to put some numbers on here. What I usually do, I usually put some numbers on these boxes, and I didn't put any on here. But for now, as long as we're holding above that 242, I mean, it won't do any worse for me than it's already done. As long as we're holding above that 242, we get outside of here. We can get out of here. Is that a good bounce right there? Let me just see what that does. Somewhat, somewhat. Do it like that. Line bias. It helped, but that was the big deal right there. Let's see what ribbon we might have hit along with that. No, no ribbons mattered. At least not on this weekly. We can do this right here for the next break, because this is just the second phase of the momentum to the upside. This was the first phase to break down. Was this one right through here? Then it broke, came back up for this little back test fail, and then down she went. Probably would have had to move it like that after you get that little fake out. Or not a fake out, because price can go up there, then it's real, right? Didn't do it because it was fake. It got up there because it was able to. Dang, you might as well just consider that rejection right there. Hmm. I bought the top. I bought the top. Mm. Palantir, we talked about the fact that, for a long time, Palantir was doing really well within that. It got a little head and shoulders in here now. I know the Bears are happy about that. They've been harping on about this little head and shoulder. This little head and shoulder, we did break down below a critical area in here for Palantir, which I have to use this time frame right here for Palantir, I believe. I think my data is on this one. Let me see. Daily. Is my data on here? No. Oh, no, no. My data isn't on that one. It's, I don't know which one it's on. It's just on that one. It wasn't there. I don't think that this is what I was using. I don't think I was using this time frame. I think it's got that sync. Trying to find. Anyway, I don't know. I just know that that's not enough for me. Right from here and here. Start fresh. Hmm, It's probably old. Yeah, that's old. Oof, I don't need that either. That's old. Let's just see if I need this one staying here. I think on a monthly time frame I did because of, you know what, just forget that. Yeah, forget that. Let's delete that. And don't get to delete this. Get to keep that. I don't know what this note is. If it's hitting on current interval, but we can see this there. And then we're gonna have this right here. This disaster here. And the only thing I know about Palantir is that this is the first time I think we was looking at it on this weekly, but that was the first time. Ooh, no, don't sell. The first time. Yeah, it was the first time we'd actually really lost lost its pocket through here. Like ever since back here in 2023, we just kind of stayed within here, stayed within here. Now we're deep outside of it. This one I had a parallel going through here too. I guess I don't. Thought I had a parallel. Yeah, I don't have any data in here. It's back above here pre-market though, so back above. But if, and I was not a big fan of it, but if and that is a big if. Let's see how it holds around. Let's use this instead. Palantir loves bearish patterns. As soon as it gets it, then validates them. Most certainly invalidate one. So we'll see how it does coming into this little spot right here. It's gonna, it's just gonna get back in here, maybe come back into the trend line or something like that, and just continue working out this right shoulder. Hmm. Yeah, selling pressure look like it's probably about to cool off on it though. I'm not gonna try anymore for any more Palantir though, until Palantir actually does see a genuine correction. Amazon. No, I got Amazon somewhere else. I'm still waiting on the wrong position I'm looking at. Amazon, no, never mind. I'm going the wrong direction. I don't know why this line is down here. I must have had to switch it on a. Thought I had a setup in here for Amazon. Let's see. What am I looking for? Oh yeah, I'm looking all the way down there. It'll be a long time. That'll be a long time. We did that one. That one came out good. So yeah, this is the second one that I'm waiting on. If I get that, otherwise, I'm out of my mind. That's not gonna happen. That's what I know I'm waiting on. And I looked at like Anchor VWAP through here, which did pretty well, through here. But and there was another one. No, not that. Let me adjust this too. Let me get that off. Yeah, probably gonna have to keep this out a little bit lower. We first hit this line at. We should run along with this line, not below it. Okay, yeah, not below it. No, if nothing else, maybe I'll get this one. I don't want to be interested in shortening it though. My hand is itching. Give me money. We've been talking through here a few times. Not really getting past here. So I think we're gonna come down. I'm gonna get a chance to get in somewhere down in here. And if not, if this is no bueno, then I just have to look right in here. Expecting that expecting that Apple Amazon will like that. So put these two together. That would be the hope right there. Here or here. This we know was a hot mess. Google, Amazon, video. Amazon and video. I don't have any Google data in here. Where's my Google stuff? Where's my Google stuff? It's not in here. That's gonna be. Let me put that back. Maybe Google's over here. I need to start syncing everything together. No, Google is good. I'm not talking about Google. Google is okay. Google look like it's finally going to start to lose this trend line right here, though. This momentum line through here. We did get a breakdown below it at first. We came back up. We've been chopping it a little bit, so I'll be looking for Google to come back down. Google more than likely will lose this one too, and this will probably be Google's best bet somewhere back right in here, something like this. These highs over here, the low right here. Because Google is high in the sky right now. Not quite, and then see it tap that pretty good right there too. That's like a it's outside of, hold on, where are we at? Yeah, it's just enough of a push outside of standard two to come clean into that 347 right there. Like a 2.5 deviation right there. 2.5 deviation is how I set that up, and then come back in about a 2.5 to the downside as well. We'll put it back in here, but I think that the highs, somewhere about the highs and the low right here, and this trend line will work out just fine for it. I think we're about to get that Google correction. You see how the swing is so tiny too? The swing's just kind of tightened up right here. We did 9 right there. Another 9 right here, just a little less, but the swings are tightening up right here. So 23 to barely getting above this high, to barely getting above this high right here. So yeah, I think we're preparing for a bit more of a correction here on Google. Just chopping right there. And if I take a look at, let's see this. Yeah, definitely look like we're about to get a correction on this mug right here. For sure, for sure. It's already, let's see, 10. It's already below. No, it's just right slightly above it, which is in line with this trend line right here too. So yeah, we've been, like I said, been chopping that trend line a little bit too much and not really getting any big swings out of it either. Yeah, short. It's a short, in my opinion. It's a short. And if it comes back up, I guess above that 341, 342, back above 342 with any consistency, and it has to be consistency. It won't be able to just leave a wick behind. But I think that it's right here. It's a short right here, and you're going to get more than just coming back into here, which is about 316. I think it might come in a little bit more towards these, like I said, this sandwich in here. Yeah, that's what I think for Google. Yeah. So Reed's bulls are in control, but I'm bearish on this. So everything else over here, just waiting on this daily. Let's take a look at that daily. Actually, I'm gonna get more data right here. But yeah, I don't think it holds it this time. I think it actually falls through. It held it for the most part, unless it does another little swing like that, like it did that. But See what we're working with in here. Let me see if I did this any differently, would it actually respect itself? Not right there. Probably about right there. Yeah, I think I just stick with that straight line though. Respected that one there. This one here. So definitely below 40 it's done. Below 40. It's 42 right there. And it's grinding down like everything suggests a little squeeze in here. Didn't drop too much on that squeeze. Didn't drop too much on that squeeze. Yeah. Bearish. It's my opinion to be bearish on Google right now. We already know Microsoft is what I've been waiting for. And it's been taking a long time. Should have just taken the short, right? I don't know. But I get scared of short sometimes in the stock market because all it takes is for the narrative, one one good news report, one good report. That's it. All it takes is one good report. Go behind is wrecked. Um, well, I guess if you're wrecked if you're not managing your risk. So, yeah, just waiting on this right here. See if we're gonna fill in this gap right here and get this position. Possibly even, tap into our low down here, our channel formation going on here. For Microsoft, just doing terrible with the whole AI narrative. Which I mean, AI is good. I like AI a lot. I've really enjoyed. I just started playing with it yesterday, but it's Grok AI. I've really enjoyed it though. But this is the setup that I am still admiring for Google. But you can see we had started holding the high of the gap. I'm trying to hold this gap as support. Maybe it'll be another 5, 6 months before I get this. That's a long time to wait, right? Yay, yay, yay. I haven't even updated this right here. This is gonna change again today, so it don't really matter. Mm. But we hit the measure move, discussed that. We had hit the measure move in here. Uh, and the little reaction here around this top side of this gap. It looks like we're starting to squeeze in here as well. We'll see how long that takes. But it is starting to narrow in right here. I don't think that there's anything that's going to yield from here, and it's not. Nothing yielding from there. No reason for me to touch it right now, according to this. Just leave it alone. So I'm just waiting. Just waiting. I know we looked at oh wow, I thought we looked at yeah, it's gonna be ugly if it doesn't hold through here though. It's gonna be ugly if it doesn't. It's gonna be straight up ugly. Be straight up. here, this indicator was looking at this high right here. Is what this was suggesting. That would be the low right here. You see how we deviated just a little bit? Deviated just a little bit, which is fine. So in here, it's either going to be here at that top or here at this high right here. It's going to be one of these two. And I'm hoping it's the first one. Right here. What I'm looking at for the long position for Microsoft. We shall see if we get it. I believe we do. Don't let me have to FOMO. FOMO. Thought we covered Tesla. We didn't. And we probably didn't. So we did it again. Looks like we tried to come up. Looks like we tried to come up right here and had an epic fail with that. I mean, what next for me? Thought we had a position showing in here. It must be on one of the other. Where does this show up at? Visibility. 5 minute only? Oh heck no. Why? Why is this showing on the 5 minute? This must be something old. This has to be something old. There's no way. Yeah, I don't know where this is, but it, yeah, I don't know where that is. That's wrong. It's a big gap down. But anyway, stop talking about that 315, but we might, still on the table right now. Yeah, right now we were trying to get back above here. If we reclaim above here, then we can do get back to that little gap. It's barely anything. But if we're not, and I mean, for me, really, I'm still holding out to see if we're gonna get that move down here to about 315. It just sounds ridiculous at this point. But um, I will not be the one trying to short Tesla. Doesn't really have a narrative that it moves off of, honestly. I'm gonna come right back over here to this chart. Just want to show you Bitcoin with a little bit of reaction right here at the trend line here. We look at the same trend line right over here on the 4 hour. Like I was saying, it's not really. I mean, it's the same, regardless of what time frame I'm on. But it's not the cleanest in terms of what I would have been looking for right here with this. Yeah. So I mean, let's see. I still think, yeah, we talk about the fact that it's getting a little bit of divergence in here. Simply because we already broke below here and then we just started a little back test right there. Little back test right there and failed, and then try to do it again. This little squeeze up. So just still waiting around on this correction that I expect for us to get, and then you know, it might just stay like this till market opens, and then they probably send it up higher. But I expect for that liquidity to be taken. I expect for this liquidity to be taken. I expect for us to at least get into these lows. But I'm on the sidelines with Bitcoin right now. Like I said, I'm just kind of waiting. I'm in Ethereum though. I'm in Ethereum. Uh, I'm on the sideline now since I got stopped out from the weekend. Little reaction there, a little bit of resistance right there. Nothing appearing major in here, but that will happen later. So just based on price action, we're at resistance. Period, point blank, which is at resistance. Could have sworn I had something else in here. Tesla. I think I did this time. Okay, we did. We did because the long was going. Okay, so the long was going. We didn't even make it into that 454, and at best, I was looking at that little gap being filled, getting into the 473, and already dropped back into the um, actually dropped below the opening for this position and still and starting to chop it right now. So yeah, I mean, still holding that standard one though. Still holding that standard one. Gotta lose that standard one. And but I don't like the fact that it dropped all the way back down to where where the entry was taking that on this. Um, and I didn't take the trade on it at all. At all. I didn't take it, period there. I didn't take the one that we had in here either. I can't, I have to find somewhere else where I can trade it. But BTCC is not the place for me to trade Tesla. They kind of uh, screw you over trying to trade it over there. So I haven't touched it. I just paper trade it and leave it alone. I'm looking to buy at spot, which is why I'm waiting on 315. So that's not going to phase me. Um, Here, yeah, I mean, it look like, I don't know, once that's gone, that's like 415 right now. Probably changed since then. Yeah, it's probably changed since then. Let's see. It probably did. Probably continuing, yeah, continuing down from here. I don't think this is gonna be a saving grace right here, right now. So yeah, I can switch this off of this. See. Don't feel favorable about it. Oof. The spot position is in the L right now. But it's spot. It's spot. We'll buy again when we get down here. Towards this trend line right here, even the 72. I'm cool for Uber. Um, yeah, I'm cool for Uber on that. I'm not gonna really focus on it price having to bounce from here. If we've absolutely killed just a small deviation over the support level in here right now, but if it gets down into here, then I will add to my stop position. As long as we're in here, I don't need to do anything. Just chill. It needs to, for me, needs to move away far enough for me to want to add some more money in. Want to buy too close to where you already entered at. And if you're wrong, you're not wrong. You're still right. Still right either way it goes. You can just sit on your hands if you're in Uber and you're looking to buy some more. You can just sit on your hands. You're right if it bounces from here because you're still in the position. And you're right if you wait because you can get it for lower. No rush. I think with this, because I don't think I use a parallel. I didn't use a parallel, and it's not drawn perfectly either. It's really not drawn perfectly. And this coulda went anywhere because it's not perfect. I'm gonna put it on this one though, and that's crooked. Don't want it to be crooked. I'm gonna draw it again so I don't look like I'm cheating. Let me get rid of this. No, I'm not gonna delete it. I will hide it. We'll hide it to do my bestest. She my best friend. I don't know that I want to do it like that. But we're doing it like that. I guess. Uh, uh, Broke there, came back up. Otherwise, I would have to do it like that, and that feels like I'm cheating. So that's no different than how I had it before if I do it like that. I like to respect lines. I like to respect them. I like to respect them. So I'm gonna show this line some respect. I'm gonna put some respect on this line name, which they call it bear. They call it bearish. They call it bearish. Respect this breakdown from here. It wicked it. I know it. It didn't actually close outside of it. Let me put some respect on it. Yeah, I mean, that gets me down here where I want to be. If I don't do it from there and I do it from, say, right here, we still haven't made it yet. And I can sit on my hands and I can wait. I mean, otherwise, I guess I'll look to see you chop your way back up this line right here. Um, yeah, it might be a better way for me to draw this, to be honest. Let me jump over to a weekly. No, I don't think there's a better way for me to, I mean, for that little rise that we had in here, that was fine. Um, for the rest of this chart, oh, that's as old as we get? 2019? Really? Why am I thinking it's older than that? Hmm, interesting. Yeah, I got nothing. Just wait on this line. Just wait on this line to get hit somewhere around this line. Then I'll pick up some more if you don't bounce from here. We're not holding it down right here. We're not. Yeah, we're starting to deviate too far. Then oop-de-doo Uber. Metas. Metas. I know this has changed. I know this has changed since the last time we looked at it, but um, treat them like they're moving averages. That's what I do. That's what I do. Let me look at the weekly. Weekly is squeezing. I'm pressing just a little bit. So I guess they were fine for now. Not really a big change. Nothing I need to update in here. and just leave it like it is. I can just leave them as they are. Almost got a full fill of this gap. Not quite. Full efficiency fill. Did this little common gap right here. I guess it's a little common gap. I don't know. Tweezer top for I think Meta is good. Likely if it continues down like that's cute right there. Looking for it to bounce somewhere around 672 if you can get it down into there, possibly even right here, just filling in. Yeah, about filling in that inefficiency. See what this gap is like. I'm not. It's already in here. It's already in here. So, wow. Yeah, probably no more than that gap, maybe. And if it does, and I start to look down here towards 672, look for a full fill of the inefficiency, and then let it try again for this upside, get through all of this, and or just ranges through here for a little while. This would be a range to play. No, I don't trade Meta. Yeah, I don't trade Meta anymore either because HTCC sucks with that. Netflix. I'm still holding up on Netflix. Still holding up on Netflix. Even after this right here, this little bear flat happened, but if we measure this out, then we possibly will come down and come lower. But I took the position on Netflix from here. I mentioned this as a potential bounce on X when price was here, and we talked about it on live stream before market opened, and I took it. I opened a spot position right there. Set a stop loss for it though, and my stop loss is for $80. So it's like the market to open on me, and then we fall below 80, which wasn't going to be much of a blimp on my account if it did. But so far, it's been holding up. We'll see how this goes. But it did you could consider it as a rising wedge or a bear flag if you want to, and then I definitely be stopped out. But right now, uh, yeah, some time frames don't look good at all. Or they don't look good at all. I'm chilling with it until I need to I'm chilling with it though. I'm hoping that it plays out well because Netflix can go a lot lower, lower than anyone's ever seen before. Our president. It's always nobody's ever seen it before. So funny. No one's ever seen it before. No one. Have Jesus miracles every speech. We're in our larger pattern, which, as you've seen on a couple of the other ones, we have the ascending rising formation. So, if like that AMD if that's a bust up there, and I think it is, it'll be back down here the same way coin is. Let me see if I got my stuff in here. I don't. I got it on another pane though. It's in another pane though, and I will find it just so we can see. But this mm, just in um, a larger ascending broadening formation. I'm gonna come back down here towards our low. This thing has been in play ever since I think we got like the second touch point through here. It might have been the third one where I drew this out at. I know it's been here for a long time, and I kept tabs on it, but I don't think it was this time frame, this pane right here though, because I got some additional information in here that I could reference. Just if it's not here. Yeah, it's not. No, it's not here. Um, not there. Yeah, this is us right here. This is us right here. This is the one that I used to use all the time right here. This one. Let's see how I said it. It loves the 2-day. So on the 2-day is how I knew we had hit a top in here. Even though we got that little break right there, every other time we did do like a 1-2 back test on it or something like that. But um, I think I had to work off of the 2-day though. Honey, can you find 2-day? I'm sure I can. This is where I bought the last time. I bought it right here, the golden pocket tap. I posted it when I got it. 'Cause I didn't own it. I owned it one time before from lower, but I didn't think too much about it. And let me see if I can help you understand. I need to turn off my daily. I think I need to change this chart. Hold on. I think I need to change my settings. This is coming up. No, I don't think it matters in here. It's gonna be a lot to bear. To bear. Hold on. No, it was from this time frame. Let me see if it was the weekly. No, I think that's right. 2-day. I said 2-day, and 4-day. 2-day and 4-day. It's not adding up right now though. Huh. All right. Anyway, 2-day right here. Something that I would always look at right here. It's like this line right here. This bigger line, right? This blue line right here. This is where this indicator tops out at. And so price action tends to top out there as well with the parallel, the ascending rising formation. And this is where price action would always top out. Whenever this would come into this little blue line right here to top out, and then it'll start to build out. In this case, it was building out a couple of bullish patterns in here, and then the break would happen outside of those patterns. So that's why that's why I like the 2 day so much. And I can tell whether or not the pattern was bullish or bearish because, you know, the candlesticks didn't always give me a good read. And this right here would show me like what we're working with. And so yeah, I would always look for the short on this on coin right here. But it was doing like this double, like right here. It tapped it right here. It was like take a short right there, but it was doing this double I don't know, like partial move to the downside and come back up like a little. I'm not gonna call it a fake move, but it did it. It did it over here too, where this would have been my top, but then it did another one right here. So I think over here I was looking for something like that. Yeah, right here I was. I said it's probably gonna come back up here towards this line because when we got right here with it, this would have been where we would have topped out at. And you can see that we hit it right here, this white line right here, hit the regression line here for the short, but then it did the same thing that it continuously does in here, which is it double tags, it double tops. So it puts in a bear div on every occasion. Now that's not a bear div, but I knew that it was going to come back up one last time. And then when it broke out of here, I got confused. Like, okay, that's never happened. It's never happened. So now I don't have a good read on it anymore. But yeah, price action ended up, invalidating the push to the upside at that moment right there. Because it went a lot further than I thought it was going to go. I thought, okay, yeah, we're going to get the second attempt in here because we didn't actually touch the top side of the ascending partner formation. And then we broke out. Yeah, a little bit of confusion for me. Otherwise, I probably would have taken a short on it, but I don't really care to short stop. I don't really care to short stop. Um, but yeah, so you can see how this time and it came back up, it touched it, but because of how aggressive, not necessarily aggressive, it tapped it, but then it doesn't stay up against it right in here. The white line coming into this resistance line right here. The bearish pattern, ascending broadening formation was building right through here, even though it broke it, but that's still a bearish formation. And right here, right now, we had the bear flag, which I could highlight out, but you can see our little bear flag. Let me take one of these. That way I don't have to. This is showing the bear flag right here. Yeah, that's the bear flag right there. So the oscillator was showing that with that little bounce up and the second one coming in here, that it was a bear flag and price was likely gonna drop. It probably get in here and then you probably won't be able to see this, but um it'll start to try to cool it right here, but we definitely broke the low side of see this was a rising wedge too. The indicator showed that this entire move that I'm looking at as an ascending broadening formation as a rising wedge and to look for a breakdown from the rising wedge formation. But ascending broadening formations are bearish too, so it really didn't make a difference in here. It's a lot of noise. I know sometimes I won't have this cloud part on, but the cloud jumped in here too, which is even more bearish, which means we could come down here this time and actually break the low of the ascending broadening formation instead of holding it. And I, I I don't think by any means we actually play out a full move of that, but this was where it would typically bounce from too. So the scale would come down, hit the bottom side of this rising wedge formation, and The scale would usually come down, hit the bottom side of its rising formation. Like I could sit here and just plate the scale the entire time. There, boom, short there, long there, short there, long there, short here, wrecked for a minute. But yeah, actual breakdown right there. Actually got the breakdown right there from the rising wedge. So we may not hold in here, coming back down here towards this ascending broadening line down here this time. It may not hold. I think we're somewhere around golden pocket right now though. Um, I just need to tag this down a little bit lower. Okay. Because this is drawn off of this low right here. If I do it like I do Bitcoin, then we're sitting inside the golden pocket, which is just really me not, I don't know, maybe coin, it doesn't matter if I draw it down to here on coin. I guess it doesn't. Yeah. So may end up losing this golden pocket this time. And taking whatever liquidity is across this trend line, maybe dropping back down in here towards this high, these highs over here. That could be the case for coin this go around. Which means if coin's doing that, you know Bitcoin is definitely doing that. I don't need this. Don't need this 50 in here. Yeah, so possible breakdown there. It's a 4-day delta. 4-day delta on I don't have it in here. The 4-day delta apparently works really well for coin. Let me see why. Why was that? Oh, okay, because the 4-day, when the 4-day, the delta would start rising ahead of price action, getting a bounce. That's why. And it started right through here, but you see how it's putting in that bear div right through here. But every other time it was pretty smooth. But the delta would flip up. The delta would start to show some strength, and that'll be the move in here on it. All of those little small moves through there, but yeah, especially when delta is coming up across the MACD. When the delta is crossing above the MACD, there seems to have been some strong moves right here for it. But this particular case right here is putting in a bearish divergence, which means, yeah, it's different now. I mean, it's just different right now. So could drop that and could come down here towards the 786. Just to find some support inside these highs right here, coinciding with Bitcoin. That, yeah, that cross up this time, and I highlighted red. Um, I had it green at first. It really doesn't matter. It's just a cross, but um, typically, you start to lose your selling strength when the delta crosses above the MACD. It's just not happening this time. That's why I prefer the line over the histogram stuff. Yeah, I can't really tell anything with the histogram. I can tell with the line though. So I hate the histogram stuff for the columns or whatever. I can really see like this. This might not be good for coin this go around, guys. May not be good for coin this go around. Bitcoin still sitting there, same little spot, no actual aggression just yet. Let me make sure we don't have any news today. Let's see, Forex news. Let's see, calendar. Today's Monday. ISM. We have ISM, but that's not going to be until 10 a.m. So we have ISM manufacturing PMI. Um, yeah, that's about it on today. 10-year bond auction for JPY. That's at 10:35. So I'm not going to be a buyer right here. I said that I would be, but I'm a little finicky right here. Something changes, and I just get a late start on it. But I'm not going to try to buy the golden pocket this time on coin. I'm gonna just sit on my hands and wait because I don't think that this. I don't know. I mean, it may not be favorable this time. But 26 on 4 hours expansion prices not just 26 May since May 6th. Well, we way past May 6th, right? And yeah, May on the weekly time frame. Just coming back into the top side of the cloud. If we don't hold right here, then the most I'll be looking for us to do now. If this starts to, this looks corrective, but it just still hasn't played out yet. You know, I was saying that this was possibly uh, a wave four, something like that, but I can't guarantee that because we just been going, just been sending. It's just been sending, and that's it. Just sending down, but we're here. Um, this line has never broken out of this low. When it does, it could be a quick spike in price action to the downside here for Hood. Be a quick spike, because it hasn't done it. Hasn't been around a long time. But you can see right here. It wasn't too quick right here. Only when it tried to come back up. So, but it really hasn't traded below the dynamic cloud, which means maybe that is the low. Maybe the low is in here somewhere. Oh yeah, we right here pre-market. Dang you. Oh, I won't be able to do that. I won't be able to do that. Hold up. Hey, that's bearish for sure. I mean, but we were already ascending down. But it looks corrective though. It looks very corrective on the weekly time frame. It looks very corrective. Even if it's a minor correction, it still looks corrective. Like take that for example. You probably, I mean, you would have looked at this part right here. Sure, that would have been correct. But right there, it we got a bullish divergence right through here. Got a bullish divergence right here. So we got a deviation right through here. Because this broke up above here, suggesting that it was a good buy. And we got that little deviation. And momentum was still pushing up higher. This is where that news dropped at. Yeah, that's where the news dropped at. Because I bought Hood because I expected for it to drop in here off of earnings, even though earnings was great. I said, hey, it's going lower. It's going lower. And it did. And I bought, and some news came out right here and sent it back up. That looks corrective on the weekly time frame. Maybe we get down here to 69. I've been saying 65 could be a target for Hood. I thought I had Hood somewhere else with some better details for you. Let me get that out of here. But thought I had hood with some better details. Yeah, I know about that on the 26 EMA on the 4 hour, which we've already surpassed that because it was never breaking down below that for a while. Um, for a while it was, oof, why is all of this showing up? And this is on extended hours, so it doesn't match anymore. EMA on the weekly. Yeah, that was the end of the 10 EMA right there. That trend line break. That was it. Yeah, you probably get you some hood down here around 65 is what I've been calling for ever since earnings. I said about 125, 100, and 65. I think those are my three levels that I mentioned for hood. Targets. This will be my targets. I'll add some better notes. But that is my target. 65 buckaroos. 65 buckaroos. If this isn't a wave four, and this is just noise, at this point, I don't think it's just noise, to be honest. I don't think it's just noise. I know somebody's going shoulder, head, and shoulder. I know they are. I know there's somewhere in this world saying head and shoulder, back test, rejection, and let's measure this baby out. There is a believer. There is a believer out there somewhere. I'd be dang if this thing don't try to put you down that lower. Oh no. Oh no. It's back to where we tried to send prices down a bit back in here. The standard that's based on though, that's kind of late. Never. It's kind of late. That one was late too. So I don't know what the standard is on it, but it came back up and rejected off of that one. So come back down here and support off of that one. Something I don't know. 65 is what I'm looking for. That's my target on hood. Something's missing. It might just be this time frame. Focus on it from here. If that is what it is, it is what it is. And just wait for it and see if it happens, right? Under 100, I love it. Under 100, I love it. And we had this trend line drawn out too, but we had it on a different chart. I think it was a very first pain right here. And daily. Yeah, that was our trend line. That was our trend line that we had been watching on the stream um, for quite a while. Quite a while. And it's always happened on this 4 hour, just like this. So I was looking at the wedgie structure, and we had this one right here, this move right here. I was like, it's either going to be an inverse or it's going to be a rising wedge. So I was looking at this because when you're coming from a downtrend like that, you tend to put in an inverse because of the back test after the breakout. So we're looking at this possible inverse, and then it just started to look like it was a rising wedge. And at the end of the day, it ended up playing out the rising wedge instead. Got that breakdown, and we never got above the trend line through here. I tried to look for the additional breakdown um, outside of the little back test and rejection, and just wanted to see if it was actually going to break down through here. And sure enough, that's what happened there. And we never came back up this. I don't need that. I do need this one right here to continue out though. Yeah, and took out our little line. Didn't come back up. That matched the 786. Okay, 'cause I was just saying the 65, which I'm still good with the 65, but that does match with the 786. If we're doing that, if we're doing that, and this is going to take into account the extended hours. I'm just doing it from where we got the breakdown from, the actual breakdown. That takes us into the 786. So yeah, I'm gonna chill on this one. I'm not adding anything on this one. I still won't be wrong if price comes back up. I'll be just fine. And we started an expansion. Started an expansion. We sure did. I think it's a daily expansion. If I'm not mistaken. No, it's a weekly. It's a weekly expansion. So we started a weekly expansion. So let me, that's the way I keep up with what we're likely to do. So it looks like we started a weekly expansion through here. Jones. So we're just trying to hang on to it. It's not aggressive just yet. It's not aggressive just yet. But we are outside of it currently. So the daily actually probably ranging in between. Yeah. Yeah. This doesn't look aggressive either. So it hasn't become impulsive just yet. Has not become impulsive just yet. It was just my imagination. I'm trying to see how long it is. Running away. Nothing. For the life or whatever it tried. It ain't perfect. It ain't perfect. I'm gonna look for a break up here. I'm gonna look for something. Don't show up anywhere else. I think it just continues down. I think we get that move into our trend regression line right here. Our momentum line is right here. 786 is right here. Yeah, I don't think anything else of it than that, to be honest. That, yeah, 786. Why is that stuck? You, my friend, can show up at any place. Show up anywhere. Yeah, just makes sense. And I should have shorted it. I should have. A hood I can trade on BTCC with no problems. I tried long and hood. I wanted this to seriously be a way for, but I got out. I got out to not at a loss. Thank goodness. Circle still doing the same thing. Bitcoin holding. We holding, baby. We holding. It's finally starting to give up the ghost on these levels that have been ranging in between. You hit that one, you come up, you don't hit one of these three in here, bounce back into that one, try it again right here. Looks like an epic fail. Breakdown. Finally don't broke this low. This thing sucks. When I tell you something is eating away at my account, it's this. It's this. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was not thinking clearly, obviously. I felt way too bullish on this thing. Even when I saw this, I ignored it. I told you guys about that too. When I saw this, I ignored it. I got excited on this pump right here. And when I saw the head and shoulders, I straight up ignored it. And what was I excited over here? That might have been the point. Let me see where I was excited at. I was excited somewhere. Yeah, I got excited right here after this sell off. No. It was this over here. It was that move right there. A little head and shoulders is right there. I got excited off of the move over here. And then I started to dismiss the head and shoulders that was in here. Then I'd be dang with that thing that played out. Fully. No strength has come in. Temporary stuff in here. But nothing. I can't wait for the day and sell this. Which don't look like I'm gonna be able to sell it. It look like I'm just gonna be losing all my little capital on this thing right here. I can take my L, but I'll get the value down. I'm not gonna buy any now. Wait for it to hit 0 and then I'll buy. I think that's where I ended off over here. I don't really get into Nibius sound I love. But that was our sound target when it was our target. It was $20. And then after it hit that $20 and whatever it hit, we just been rolling. We tried a little bit in here. So that was a little cute little move right there. Nothing in here right now says you want to mess with it. Got 777 coming in. Then we got 523 down here. I don't think, well, I'm gonna say what I think because anything can happen. 15 minutes, trying to come up a little bit, have a little head and shoulders in here. Nah, I'm gonna wait. Not messing with that. Apply, global, Ford, Instacart. I think it's a little noisy, but Instacart got some new stuff coming up. They're probably gonna try to send this one. Um, might try to send this one. With Instacart. It's a bear flag. It's a bear flag. At least you have a bear div. You have a bear div. That strategy. This was our last level on strategy. Dang. We were doing all right here for a minute. I don't think these are going to be relevant anymore after this. This is our last level. We deviated below that last leg of defense. So 105 would be my target on a continuation down here for strategy. Um, yeah, so we did not get a thorough push through here to make it up here anywhere. It ain't gonna happen with Bitcoin anyway, right? The model behind Bitcoin. So if that is what it is. Let's see, not on strategy. Let's see what I have to see here. Let's see how it did there. Let me turn that on. Seven, 7, 7. MicroStrategy is. I remember back over here when I first looked at strategy. I think it was back over in here, and I was, I was like, Mastercard looks terrible. MSTR. Mastercard looks terrible. I was like, oh no, that's strategy. Hey, use golden pocket as resistance. Ah, that wick is a little bit too high. I'm gonna go off of this. I don't think so. I don't think so. You know how devastating that would be? That little rainbow flag on Bitcoin is creating bearish divs. You saw how that just flipped up some more? It's creating there is. Mm, give this a midpoint. I just think that that's completely bull crap. Another VWAPs right there. Strat. I mean, we just have to think that. Have to think that that's gonna do it. And if that doesn't, let me just see something here. It's the only one I really care for. Is the VWAP in this case. Yeah, that's all I really care for in this case is the VWAP. Let's see like what the rest of them have been like for it. You know, I really only care about this VWAP. Actually, that's 5% down. I don't think there's gonna be any consistency with that. I need to turn that off. I want it to be as precise as possible. 16, 17%. VWAP there. I don't know how well VWAP is gonna do with this. Yeah, I don't see any consistency with this. This might be a nothing burger. This, you just have to look for this to be support. Maybe there's some logic behind VWAP. See if you got it. When you falling off a cliff like this, and, and the levels that I had in here for it, yeah, 105, one of the levels. I do it like that. Just to zoom out on lower time frames to catch bounces. Otherwise, probably off and then some. That's one a little bit annoying me. I have to hope 1, 2, 3 works. If it comes, if it loses this 139, which is already at 136, so it's a small deviation. Could change once market opens here in a few minutes, but just have to kind of count on something like this right here. If not, I mean, a harsh reality for strategy. Just was the only level that I had in here too for right in here is 105. So past that, I just simply bypass all of that and I just started to look here. So I don't really need this. Let's get that out of the way. Got the golden pin with the 786 right here. For me, it's 105. For me, I don't think that there's anything in here to support strat. Strat this thing right here. And that's what we're already looking at with that last little, no, I didn't do it from that one. Did I do it? Yeah, I did it from that one. I did it from that one. So, mm, yeah, 105 is what I'm banking on, I suppose. Still banking on 105 if we lose that. Um, if we really deviate from it, it's not looking. I'm sorry. A little funny about mine. Mm, it's awful. Bitcoin's still sitting in the same spot, waiting on market to open is all it's doing. Home Depot, what are you doing? The deep, the deep, Home Deep. What are we talking about with Home Depot? We knew that we were ranging in here inside of this box, but yeah, Home Depot ain't about to play out no head and shoulder. Home Depot ain't really had no. I mean, we just not getting some weather to send Home Depot up. We haven't really had any reason for people to really, you know, be at Home Depot spending all that money. So we've basically been this right here. Oh, my magnet isn't on. I'm like, why is it? I don't trust it unless that magnet is on. Try to get them lines right. Still don't be right. I try. Why is you up here? Keep her down. But we still just chilling in this little range right here. I think I did try to like measure this out, but I seriously doubt that that's gonna happen. I think I did. Let me see. Visibility, all intervals. Yeah. I did measure this out just for just for the sake of saying, hey, if it did happen, be down here. What we at? 208? 208. So it would be it's something like that did work out. Now that's from a 24-hour stance. I mean, you're looking at it from here. It looks like what it looks like. Just the head and shoulder formation. It could be some sort of a, I don't know, triple dipple top or something like that. Because not actually getting, not actually getting far above here. It hasn't actually gotten far above here. Swing up, fail, swing up, fail, swing up, fail. Even that little small one right there. Fail, 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 fail. It's not an ascending. It's not an ascending triangle. Could probably look at whatever this is to here, but um, yeah, could probably look at that. It did swing back up this level right here twice, so I don't like it because it didn't respect it again. But if it's just chopping it, it's looking to break down anyway, right? But could be that. Could be, a rising structure in here, if anything. So let's just assume Head and Shoulders doesn't play out. Then this could just be a rising, some sort of a rising formation through here. And, mm, see. Mm, Come back to here. And then, I don't know. It could be something like that. Definitely keep this in mind. Hide it for now. It could be some sort of a rising structure instead of a head and shoulder. There's no neckline was broken in here either, as you can see. Like if it was gonna be a neckline break, it would have. Yeah. See, that's why that line was down lower because of the weekly. But yeah, nothing broken in here. So yeah, I don't like the fact that it came back up like that either. We had another little head and shoulders in there. Mm, I don't know how this works in here. Don't really. I mean, it bounced off the top of support, so this is useless. At the end of the day, it bounced off support. Bounced off the highs in here. If there was anything to look at, it was the highs in here. Potential support. So lose that support, start to break down from here. Then this is going to be my target by all means necessary. This is going to be my target unless this little rising structure in here manages to give it some hope. Be walk on here. Make sure that was correct. Make sure I didn't move too fast. Like I did move too fast. So yeah, we gotta break this. We gotta fall out of the lose the support through here to see the target in here get hit. Even even if this was like a triple top or something like that, still that will work for the measure move. Yeah, gotta lose this range that we're in right now. The Home Depot, I don't trade. Gold Shop, TTD. That used to be one of ours. Beyond Meat, 76 cents. Ion Q, I still think is a good one. Uh, Chime, let's see how our Chime is doing. How's our Chime doing? Yeah, Chime made it to what we thought we was gonna make it to, and then Chime said, "That's it. You got it, girl. You made it. You made it, and that's it." So nothing there on Chime. Compliment him for all of that. Lulu. Uh, uh, like I got a little bit of rejection on my Novo Nordisk, which is cool. It's gonna range in here for a long time, probably. Lily. Uh, mm, Lulu. Ooh, we expect for Lulu to range around in here for a while, but Lulu didn't even get up here. I just do expect for Lulu to range around for a little while. Lulu becomes a disaster. Let's see, I think below here. I think we're bouncing off of the last time we were bouncing off of. What were we bouncing off? I don't have the right EMAs on in here, but let's go with this. And let's go on our monthly. Yeah, 200. So come back to that 200. Um, you want to see that hole, and if it's not, then unfortunately, this order block in here, which this block was from, I think, the weekly time frame, and maybe just take a little bit of, you know, take the low of here, 121, something like that. Mm, excellent. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, wow. 24. Let me see if you outside of 3. And short is where we want to be. Let's see. Let's see where you at. You doing good? Doing good. Got a channel play on it right now. So it's in the pocket. Settings. Oh, let me extend it. Just play with that channel right now until that channel breaks. Let me give you a bottom. Looking good there. Excellent. Oh, well, at least you were looking good. Let's see what's happening with you then. You were looking good. Yeah, it'll chop. I mean, it just has to be some sort of a big sell off, like somebody has to dump a load off on this. Consider this one day. But for now, Yeah, and it's lit up by the Christmas pine tree. Pine tree. It's a pine tree. Yeah, I don't think that there's anything else in here. I needed to went through those big dogs. We haven't done anything on Bitcoin, so it didn't make sense for me to just stay over here. So we're still right here, still chopping this resistance line in here. Still chopping this for Bitcoin. I don't think anything changed with gold either. No, nothing's changed with gold either. I did see this right here too. Yeah, for my trigger was at on my long position here on gold. Um, and currently we are back above the 200 EMA. So a lot of this can be a little bit of noise at the moment, but still, I think I think we topped on the higher time frame. We just, we make these moves, we make, some lower highs or something like that and chop around in here or something. But again, if for any reason we come up here and we take that liquidity, it's probably going to be another short. I'm pledging some allegiance to it right now. Sorry, Yarn. Same thing there. Market about to open up in 1 minute. Let me go ahead and say my thank you. Thank you for joining me. I am down to Crypto TA. Try to do this thing, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 6 a.m. So around about market open. Um, I love the charts. I love trying to interpret the charts. Let's see what this market does once we open here. We are open. We are open. We quiet. It's Monday. We quiet. Not really moving. Maybe I take this off of uh, about this time frame right here instead. We quiet right now. I mean, this was already open, but uh, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, not really moving. Not really moving. Let me see if something's gonna change in here, but we're not really doing anything right now. No bears still have control. No, no actual. It's really more indecision here on this 1 hour time frame. They need to make a decision. Ethereum performing a little bit better right here in the moment. I still think we'll get more out of that 4 hour than not. It just, I mean, um, the market is not moving. Take a look at that spot again. Here. Yes, I was looking good when we looked at it earlier, and it's still remaining here. SPY is pumping up here right now. It's the first few minutes of market open, but SPY is still on the move. It was on the move when we looked at it earlier. It's on the move right now. Coming up to the top side of that gap. I want to see how we're going to do. I do want to see how it's going to do right there. That's an old gap. Later. Went up the water stop. I ain't putting no head and shoulder over here. I'm doing a little shoulder head and another shoulder over here. Spy. I feel like they're all the same. I don't even know why. Most times, spirits, um, yes, State Street Spider. No, I call it spider. Anyway, oldest kind of hurry up there. I appreciate you, baby. Give me the money. Show me the money. All right. It was stalled out right there. I'm saying the same thing over here. No, I don't have it right there. I have it on Q. Yeah, I do have it on Q. Q got a little break up above it and then a rejection right there. On the Qs. On the Qs. See how that goes. All the make me a believer. It had this little gap right in here. This another one had to make me a believer. This is a pretty good gap though. See how wide it is? That remains useful, especially with that percentage of the gap. Percentage of the gap. Send it back down. Almost 1% gap. I don't care if it goes down or goes up, to be honest with you. Bitcoin doing good. Ethereum doing good. Let's go. Let's go. We'll take that little liquidity. Take that little liquidity. Just gonna be chopping right here for a minute. Those lows in there. Those prior lows. We'll get choppy in here. We'll come back later. Not today, but tomorrow and probably see a wick. We're still going. We're still going. We're still holding. We're still holding. Get in here and get this little liquidity. And like I said earlier, on stream, possibly get up into here. I don't think that we do any more than that. But this is us trying to get into that 4 hour strength that we were seeing. And then likely we're gonna put in that 4 hour bear div if we get into the lows right here for a rejection right now. And let's go ahead and just pop a fib on this before I get out of here. Pop a fib on this baby right here. So you can see that puts us in 2 hour lows right in here. Even give us some room, like to get the wicks and forget the skinny girls. I'm a skinny girl too. Some thick ones, some thighs in here. I'm getting to some thighs in here. Yeah, so stupid. That means I'm tired. Sound ridiculous when I'm tired. But here for starters. Here for starters. If I wanted in the Ethereum and a gold long, I'd be crying about Bitcoin. It's not even a big move. Like it's, way more money to the downside right now than it is going up. But we all wanna, you know, we all wanna be a savior. You're a savior when you buy the lows. Go ahead, take your time with it. to them to the E. You know what? Let me check. Damn. Okay, log me in. Mm. Yeah, see, silver and gold is sitting at the top in here in terms of what was it most popular? I think QQQ. I bit shares have become very popular here recently. Let me see. Still not giving me what I'm looking for. Am I looking up? Um, see. Gamma. Yeah, we're gonna come back up a little bit already. Already. Once we cross in here, it's just like once we cross below this one, it makes sense to kind of like push it back into here at least. So a little 4 hour, be a little magnet, be a little magnet. Like 442. Go Biddy. And we can be pushing up with see max pay right now. Max pay. Mm, that's all we were just looking at over there. Is this. this one's right here. 220. There and today. This week. Yeah, 49, 45. That's what we're looking at. 49, 45 on the low end. About 45, 44. Something like 45. Yeah, something like that. 3.24% move. Mm. That's it. Yep, that's it. That's what you need to look for today. Getting into this little liquidity right here. At least taking this liquidity right here from the weekend. 4 hour again looks prime to get a little bit more of a move. I will enter a Bitcoin long position after we get a pullback out of this. Possibly put in a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders here on the 4 hour time frame, but I still don't think that it plays out any more than getting into the lows over here. And yeah, that's all I can say. I don't think the daily would actually give us any significant change. But like I said, possibility of an inverse through here. You know, your left shoulder head, right shoulder over here, possibility, and just get us back into here. Nothing else. And then daily. Uh, yeah, I don't think today will be the day. But if some strength starts, if it starts to show more strength, then I will entertain it. But I don't think today will be the day. Another little rejection, and then a little continuation down to possibly getting into, you know, what I think. Got these highs. Sparing that low for now. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely not sustained. So first we start here, get to that liquidity right there. If we can get to that, and like I said, that's about it for me. That's what I think. So with that said, I'll see you tomorrow, 6 a.m. Appreciate you for being here.